program. We're so glad that you have tuned in with us today, and you won't be sorry that you did. Today we have John Borgstedt with us in the studio today, and John Borgstedt is a worldwide published author. And John, it's so good to have you today with us.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming up all the way from East Texas to join us today.
Yeah.
All right. Well, John, let's just get right into it. Why don't you share a little bit with our viewers about yourself, some of the work that you've been doing, and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Of course, you know, a lot of people know that you know, I'm a worldwide child advocate as well as a worldwide published author. I travel all over the country speaking to, you know, state schools, orphanages, halfway houses, group homes, churches, state and government facilities, as well as child abuse organizations. You know, I've just really taken, you know, my life story as an abused child to help people, but as well I've taken it to a different level as far as making change happen in the world. You know, a lot of things happen to people, but do they use it for the better good of humanity?
Right.
And that's what I've tried to do, is take a lot of things that's happened and use them as tools for learning and teaching other people how to deal with these types of situations, issues, and you know, it's taken off. It's really taken off. I mean, it's been...
Yeah, your calendar's staying busy, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Well, actually, I was privileged to get to go with John and speak at the Brownwood TYC, and we had a wonderful presentation there, and I believe that we got some really good reports after we were there, and we're going back again this week, aren't we?
Yes, yes, most definitely.
So we're looking forward to that, and I know that there will be other good reports coming from that. So as John said, he is a child abuse survivor, but he's no longer just a survivor, but he's a victor over child abuse, and now he's also a child and adult advocate, going all over and sharing his message of hope and healing with others in many different ways. And we're going to learn all about that in this program, some of the different ways that he's been doing that. But before we get into those things, we are also honored to have with us today Micael and Morgan, and they are part of the Micael James Band. And you are going to be delighted to hear their song, World That Needs Jesus, because that's what John and I'm also a child abuse survivor and a child and adult advocate, just like John, and we've kind of joined forces in some areas. And so this is kind of like what John and I do, a world that needs Jesus, and we're just basically going and sharing Jesus with the world. Right, is what we're doing. And then there's others that do it in a different way, on a different platform, with a different message and different testimony. But anyway, enjoy as Micael and Morgan sing, World That Needs Jesus.
This is an original song by the Micael James Band, from our first album, Grace Found Me. This is World That Needs Jesus. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the world that we know. It changes every day that we grow old. We bow our heads and close our eyes and say a prayer for our friends, for a world that needs Jesus, a world that needs a Savior. On our knees as we cry, we say a prayer for a world that needs Jesus, a world that needs a healer. On our knees as we cry, we say a prayer tonight. Listen to the sound of heartbroken cries, lost without hope, with no desire. They cover up all the pain 'cause they're scared to find a world that needs a world that needs a Savior. On our knees as we cry, we say a prayer for a world that needs Jesus, a world that needs a healer. On our knees as we cry, we say a prayer. And oh, the love that's touched my soul, fought through my pain to make me whole. And though the world may not believe, but I believe for a world that needs Jesus, a world that needs a Savior. On our knees as we cry, we say a prayer for a world that needs Jesus, a world that needs a healer. On our knees as we cry, we say a prayer. On our knees as we cry, we say a prayer. On our knees as we cry, we say a prayer tonight.
Well, I know that song blessed you, and thank you so much, Michael and Morgan. Thank you so much for that. And John, since you and I have come to know each other, I kind of started checking back in my files to see exactly when it was. I think it's been almost a year ago that we met each other.
Wow.
And I had you on my program almost a year ago, and that was after you'd written your first book. Well, a lot has happened since then, hasn't it?
You know, it most definitely has. Wow. You know, I thank God every day for the blessings He's given me, but the journey that I've taken, you know, I mean, I can't even begin to explain what's happened. It's just been an awful lot.
It's going very quickly for you, but we decided that you had contacted me and you said, hey, what about doing a co-authored book together? I said, oh, we can totally do this. We can totally. I was very excited about that. And so let's share with our viewers a little bit. We don't have the book cover yet for you to see, but the book should be out in April with Author House. So let's share with our viewers a little bit about that.
Well,
it's called The Advocates of the Abused and Silent.
Well, it's a book basically about our lives as advocates. You know, where we're going, where life has taken us. Kind of starts off in a talk show setting, you know, going towards real stories coming from the audience. These are actually real stories of people that we've come in contact with. It talks about the different places that we visited, as far as, you know, Crockett, me and Corsicana. I mean, just various places. We couldn't put them all in there, so I don't want people to think that, you know, we've held back from, you know, a lot of the places we've been. We just picked those places that we felt like that we done the best work at, and shared those stories, and how all that stuff has taken us to where we are today. And I think it gives the public a chance to see what a real advocate, and when I say a real advocate, because we have so many people that put a title behind a name, but the work is not there.
Right.
You know, I feel like we're on the forefront. I feel like not only do we talk about it, not only do we write about it, but we get out there and work with these kids. We talk with these kids. We you know, heal adults today as well.
Yes.
I mean, it's not just kids, because these kids become adults. So, you know, we're working with adults on that level as well as children.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's not limited to Child Advocate, because, I mean, you have several different things that require a title like that. So, you know, I really take that to heart.
And in our journey as child and adult advocates, you know, we've heard some heart-rending stories, of course, and we've also been given permission by other survivors and other people to use these true stories in a creative way. So be watching for that. The Advocates of the Abused and Silent. It should be available with Author House in April of 2011. So that was very exciting. I'm really excited. We're on the end of that journey, just coming right up to having that done, and we'll have events coming afterwards. After that, and so I'm very excited. But there's also some more exciting news that's been going on with John. To start with, he wrote your first original story, I Love You, Mom, Please Don't Break My Heart, which is your story, your childhood story. So share with the viewers a little bit about that story in that book.
Well, and let me start off by saying this. The story that's in that book is not the whole story.
Right.
And the reason for that, I mean, I've always planned ahead, is that, you know, not putting your whole story into the first book is, you know, maybe one day I might have a docudrama, there might be a movie, and you don't want to give all the sugar up front, you know. You want to save a little bit of juice. So if you put it all into one work, so there is a lot of stuff in this book about, you know, where my life started as a child, with the abuse that I suffered from my mother, also where my life went with my father as far as the abuse that I suffered from him, and then, you know, into the hands of a system that's supposed to protect our children. I also suffered abuse in there many, many years, and then it also talks about my life of crime that I led as well, and ended up in prison. I did 5 flat years in the Texas Department of Correction. Got out, forgave those who had hurt me in my past, let go and let God do what He needed to do. And here I am living the life that I have now. And I look at other people who have been down that road that are very, very successful people today. I don't want to name any names, but I do have some people that I do look up to who have passed and are very successful in today. And, you know, if they can do it, why can't I? And,
Absolutely.
I just went after it. You know, I grabbed the bull by the horns and said, let's go, you know. So.
and I can testify to that. John is a go-getter. He really has some terrific marketing skills. And so, you know, God can just, look, what society would say would never happen. All the strikes that were against you as far as society and maybe even psychologists, I mean, what was their biggest hope? The psychologists and the social workers that you had, what level did they think you would reach? And you far have exceeded that level, but tell them what they thought you would have reached.
I'll tell you, you know, one of the caseworkers I had when I was 10 years old, you know, before I got there, the Texas Youth Commission said, by far, this is the worst kid we have ever had. You know, he is the worst case. He's been through the worst things we've ever seen in our life. And she said that, you know, I was one of the smartest kids. And, you know, as I got older and, of course, you know, out of prison and everything, she always tried to find me. And she didn't know if I was dead or in prison. You know, she said, but I know the kind of person you are. You know, after I found her years later, she says, I'm not surprised that you're who you are. She said, but I'm surprised you're doing what you're doing now. She said, I'm not surprised that you're not successful. She said, I always seen it in you because you were so brilliant, you know. And I really liked hearing that from her.
Yeah, and what was her name?
Miss Ryan, Gwen Ryan.
Gwen Ryan.
Yeah.
And she's also on your docudrama that's coming up, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. I have a docudrama, and there's more in the docudrama than there is in the book. Because, like I said, I always hoped one day to have a docudrama.
Right.
And, you know, now it's going from that to, you know, here in the next 3 to 4 months, we're going to start for the major motion picture, which will be in all box offices. The docudrama is going to be worldwide, distributed in 6 different countries. So it's, you know, God's definitely blessed my life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, John, it's because it's bigger than you.
It is.
It's bigger than you. It's because we know how many survivors there are out there, and we know how many victims are out there. And so God knows that this message has got to get out there. And I know you and I share also the same feelings about this. The first step to recovery, the first step for a victim or a survivor to recovery is
forgiving those that hurt you. But you
Forgiving.
know, I'm going to tell you something else that I always tell people is when I go and speak and talk to adults and faculties and stuff is, you know, I'm human. I am normal. I'm just like everyone else, and I haven't let the fame change me as a person. It's hectic. You don't have a lot of time to talk to people, but you know what? I look at it this way. I'm one person. I'm not an idol. I am ahead of something that God has put me to do, you know. But it takes an army behind me to make these things possible and make them happen. Without the support, without the people and their generosity and dedication for the work that I do, I wouldn't be here where I'm at today. So I give full credit to the ones around me, Virginia.
Your wife, yes.
I love her. You know, she's just, she's been a big part of it. And Sandra, Martin Hicks,
yes,
as
Martin
she
Hicks,
likes to have her
pictures.
Heartstone Pictures. It's her full name. So,
and
you know,
she did the docudrama.
She did the docudrama. She's also going to do the major motion picture on it. So, I mean, blessed. I am blessed.
Absolutely. God is bringing those people together. But also, I tell John some of the stories. I got the inside track, and we can't get into everything, but I've got the inside track here. But there's been miracles happen with this docudrama. Miracles. Because they've had to revisit some of the places that John has lived to see the documentation. Well, this has been years back, and houses have been sold, different things. And I just want you to share one miracle, just one miracle, that was there waiting for this movie to be made.
The first house we went to was when I was a little boy, where a lot of this stuff happened. And the house has been sold, I don't know, several times. And we went into my room where the closet that I was actually locked in was. And up there on that closet, the lock was still on the door. It had been painted over from years and years and years.
How many years?
33 years.
33 years. That lock was still there,
and, I mean,
waiting for this movie to be made.
They could have taken the screws out, painted over it, put some wood filler, but I just thought it was amazing that it's even still there to the date when we walked in. And there's much more to different places we went, but
Absolutely.
that is...
I just want you to share one, though.
Yeah,
They'll have to get the docudrama to see it, or we'll have to do another show. So let's roll that clip of the docudrama. This is I Love You, Mom, Please Don't Break My Heart by Heartstone Pictures, the life of John Borgstedt.
Every kid wants to be loved by their mom and dad. They also need their approval. When I was just 10 years old, I made this card for my mom. I hadn't seen her talk to her much since I was 7. I was desperate for any sign from her that she cared about me. I sent her this card, but I never heard back. You see,
I was living in institutions full-time by this age. My abuse started as soon as I could crawl out of my crib. There are thousands and thousands of children suffering like I did. But it's a secret, hidden within the walls of the homes. My name is John Borgstedt, and I'm 33 years old now. And I'm not a victim anymore. I am an overcomer, and I am determined to reach back and save as many kids as I can from enduring the inhumane treatment I've survived for nearly 18 years.
Wow, I cannot wait to see my pre-ordered docudrama, John. I know that's going to touch many, many hearts. And what's sad to know is there's so many people out there with similar stories to ours. However, they're silent.
Right.
They're not telling anybody. They're suffering in silence. And that's part of what our book, The Advocates, is all about, to reach out to those that are still suffering in silence. And
well, you know, and And you know, it's not for everyone to come forth. It's not for everyone to expose their past. A lot of people would prefer to, you know, go on with a productive life and just have a career. It takes a lot from a person to live through something like that and get up and speak about it. It does, and it's a daily thing. So, you know, I mean, we are reliving it every day when we talk to people. So that is definitely, it's stressful. It's not an easy job.
You have to be called.
Yeah, you have to be.
In the positions that we're taking, we're sharing our message to the world. You have to be called to be able to do that. But I do feel that it's very beneficial for survivors to speak to someone, and be sure that they come fully through, because it's more than just healing. I have absolutely been restored, and that's all due to Christ. You know, there would be no restoration without Him, but people can help you heal. People can help you recover. Counselors can, friends can, clergy can, different ones. But John, now I want to share with our viewers what I think the most important thing everyone can do to help prevent child abuse. Okay. And then I would like you to share the #1 important thing that everyone can do to prevent child abuse. And mine simply is to speak up. If you see something that shouldn't be going on, speak up, tell someone.
Well, I always encourage people to, you know, the biggest thing in this world right now, it's not the abusers. It's the one that turns their back and says, hey, I'm not getting involved in that, you know, I'm not going to confront someone. It doesn't take you to confront someone if you see something happening in a supermarket, outside, some kind of event. Follow them to their vehicle, get their license plate number, call the 1-800 number for CPS, and report it. That's all it takes. You are not going to be in contact with them. They never know who done it. So the big problem is, again, the people who don't report it. There's more of them than there is of people who are doing the abusing. Right. So if we come together, then we can squash a problem.
Absolutely.
So that's my main thing that I tell everyone. If that's the #1 thing that I can tell them, that would be the best subject right there to talk about right there.
Absolutely, and they can do this anonymous, just in good faith, but anonymous, and so everyone can do something, but that's the foremost and most important thing to do that. John, I'm so glad that you were able to take a little time out of your busy schedule and join me again almost 1 year later on the program, and you know what, I know there's going to be more things that we're going to have to share with the viewers in time, so I'm looking forward to the future, but we're just going to enjoy what God has for us right now. And we also are delighted to have part of the Micael James Band in the studio, and they're going to sing one of the songs off your docudrama, isn't that right?
Consume Me.
Consume Me. And where is that? Is that on the end of your docudrama? Or?
Yeah, I mean, because, you know, Casting Crowns is in there, and then you've got them at the end, and they're showing how the movie was made, you know, like the lady who done Transformers 3, she done their makeup, she's in there, and you know, there's just a lot of stuff. So
okay, well, we're looking forward to hearing Micael and Morgan sing Consume Me, and we're going to go out and just end the show today with that, and just let God consume you. Just let Him consume you, and just take your journey with the Lord. And we'll see you next time. Enjoy as Micael and Morgan sing Consume Me from their new album.
How long can we keep this up? Happy on the outside, dying on the inside. Feels like I'm losing my touch and I don't know why. This time I'm ready to commit. This time I'm ready to let you in. Consume me. Consume me. And I don't have to feel the pain I felt before. And I don't have to be the man I was before. Father, use me. Consume me. Yeah, yeah. Consume me. Yeah, yeah. Well, there's times I don't feel like much. Hanging my head and my past fallen too far and there's no escape. This time I've wiped away my tears, and this time I feel that you are there. Consume me, consume me, and I don't have to feel the pain I felt before, and I don't have to be the man I was before. Father, use me, consume me, show me how it feels to be loved, show me how it feels to be redeemed, and show me how it feels to be loved by you, by you. Consume me, yeah, yeah. Consume me, yeah, yeah. Consume me, consume me, and I don't have to feel the pain I felt before, and I don't have to be the man I was before. Father, use me, consume me.